I mean, just right here, where it just takes off. I like it. Makes that nice cut.
And you know what I like? I like a little appreciation and attention to the show band of the Southwest. That's Sean Azadi, walk-on, and saxophone extraordinaire. You hear him saying, "This is awesome." He's wearing his Texas gear and marching with the show band at half. That is called versatility, my friends.
That's a man that loves his university.
So he was part of spelling DeLoss on the field?
He was.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
I would imagine he was somewhere in the middle of the E. I have no idea. But Sean Azadi, out of the way, man. That is well-rounded versatility. That's what it's about. Sports and the arts merging as one.
And I want to say in all of it, really, like I think Texas, the coaching staff, they really did a wonderful job of making this senior day really special for a lot of the seniors. And the seniors on their side did a great job going out on the field and really performing, whether they was on the field or on the field, whether they were in the band.
Right.
It was fun to watch.
Standouts all around. Before we go, though, we talked about what's the reason to believe Texas can win these last two games. Let's go around quickly. What of this gives you reason to believe they can beat Baylor?
Well, confidence.
Stopping the run, stopping the pass, which Baylor's going to do, and running the football. That's what made me believe.
I was shocked defensively. They were able to stop Texas Tech like they did. 9 sacks tonight. They've only been sacked 24 times all season long before tonight. They played phenomenal. Offensively, run that ball, boy. Run that ball.
How's that hammy of yours?
The hammy is good.
On that ankle. You good?
But I just want, for the record, there's no, look, I do not have the electric
I don't know what you're
blankets
talking about.
like these guys right here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sellouts. Unacceptable.
Off to their best start in 3 years, the Longhorns return home after splitting 2 tough games in Kansas City and are already looking for their 6th win on the season. Tonight they face another in-state rival, the UT Arlington Mavericks. It's all coming up next from the Irwin Center on Longhorn Network. Welcome everybody to college basketball. We hope you all enjoyed a wonderful Thanksgiving. UT Arlington in town for the 9th time, taking on Texas, and the Longhorns have swept all 8 previous meetings. With former Houston star Reger Dowell, I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks for joining us. And first and foremost, we want to wish our sincere condolences to the Holmes family. Jonathan Holmes' grandmother passed earlier this week. Jonathan will not participate in tonight's basketball game, and the team will all gather together in San Antonio tomorrow for the funeral. So again, our condolences to the Holmes family, and we wish them the very best in this difficult time. On to the basketball game. We haven't seen Texas here in the Irwin Center in 11 days. A lot has happened. A couple of tough games at Kemper Arena in Kansas City. And maybe we finally saw the coming out party for Cameron Ridley, finally.
He was dominant. I mean, he had 31 points in 2 games. He dominated on the boards, but maybe more importantly, he was such a presence defensively, blocking shots. Cameron Ridley also coincidentally shooting the free throws are much better. Maybe gives him a little more confidence on the offensive end.
And let's quickly take a look at the starting lineups. Reger Dowell averaging 25 points per game. Brandon Edwards, the scoring stars for the UT Arlington Mavericks, Texas Longhorns, Taylor, Holland, Yancey. Lammert will get the start in place of Jonathan Holmes. And we are ready to go. Texas in their home whites and UT Arlington in their home blue, white, and orange, and we're underway. UT Arlington at 2-5 played Kentucky pretty tough there for a while, but then got run off the court in the second half. But you could say that about a lot of teams this year.
This is a team that shoots a lot of threes, especially Reger Dowell. He is looking for his shot constantly.
And he found one, and he knocked it down. He's already taken 76 threes on the season, and that is his 29th make.
That is more three-point field goal attempts than the entire Texas starting lineup combined.
And right on cue, looking very patient and comfortable, Cameron Ridley turns into the lane, made his foul shots, made 7 of 8 in the Longhorns' victory over the Blue Demons from DePaul.
You know, Paul, as well as the Longhorns have started, I think if there was a theme defensively to the start of the year, it seems like every game there's been a three-point shooter for the opponent that has caused an enormous amount of headaches for the Texas Longhorns. And, boy, they have got one here tonight. Reger Dowell averaging 25 points per game.
Well, you look at the season numbers, and Texas is a -20 to their previous 6 opponents in terms of three-point field goals made, and Ridley looking very comfortable, continuing to shoot it from the free throw line. Quickly off the turnover, Isaiah Taylor down inside, has that shot swatted away by Brandon Edwards, and quickly at the other end. What a nice block getting back. Kendall Yancey returning the favor with numbers again. Oh, that's a bad pass. Bad pass by DeMarcus Holland. That was behind. But I want to get back to the point about the -23s. Now, that's probably a trend that's going to continue all season long. Texas is not a knockdown three-point shooter, so how do you make up for that kind of differential?
Well, the biggest way you do is you guard the line better, because you're not going to suddenly turn into a three-point shooting team, but you can sure become a very good defensive team, especially with Holland and Yancey and Taylor. They've got the personnel to defend that three-point line.
And they're pretty deep at that position with a lot of young, athletic players who can really get out onto the floor. Another drive and kick three-pointer on the way. No offensive rebound right down inside. Brandon Edwards with a basket for UT Arlington.
Brandon Edwards averaging a double-double coming into this game. 19 points, 11 rebounds for the Mavericks.
Oh, give it to him. He had pins. He had gotten in such good, deep position. And it seems to me, after watching Cameron Ridley last season, highly regarded, he was the #8 ranked recruit nationally coming in. But he seems to have found a different gear over the last 3 or 4 games.
I don't know what the change has been. I talked to some of the coaching staff, Russell Springman, we were talking about it before the game. He really feels like it's been Rick's work with him at the free throw line. If you have confidence that you can step up and knock down a free throw, you're more aggressive in your post moves. You use that big body, you use that big rear end, you draw contact, as opposed to if you're shooting 40%, you're like, I don't really want to be on the free throw line.
And that one rattles in and out, but still he's made 10 out of his last 12. A scrum. And on the alternating possession arrow, the basketball will stay with Texas.
Well, that's 2 good hustle plays already by the freshman Kendall Yancey. Got a block shot on one end, and right there on the offensive rebound, slid between a pinch screen and got that ball and end up with Texas possession.
Lob pass down inside, right at the front of the rim, lays it up and in, and look to complete the three-point play. And you mentioned Yancey, 6'3", 200-pound freshman out of Richardson, Texas. His brother Terrell Harris played at Oklahoma State. He scored 10 points against DePaul, so he's been given the opportunity. When he gets a couple minutes, he's been very productive, and another made free throw for Ridley.
Well, he got 23 minutes in that game, by far his season high.
Hard to score sitting over next to one of the assistant coaches or Rick Barnes.
But, you know, Paul, it's a testament to be ready. Be ready, you'll get a chance, and if you're ready and you produce, you may find yourself starting the next game.
Drive and kick once again off the perimeter, battle inside. Good offensive rebound, and that shot rejected by Ridley.
Golly.
I wish he wouldn't swing at the ball so hard. Isaiah Taylor a little bit out of control, and this game is going to be up and down. Good play once again by Yancey, working to get back defensively. Taylor, lob pass, not a good lob pass. Some poor decisions here early by the freshman point guard. Connor Lammert looking at a 19-footer, knowing the rebound taken by Edwards once again. And UT Arlington, I guess you don't have to ask them to run. Offense for both of these teams looks like it's downhill.
Well, how about the start by Kendall Yancey? I mean, a third hustle play, types of plays that won't show up in the stat box, but boy, he has had an impact here the first 4 minutes of this game.
Reger Dowell looking along the baseline, and Yancey dropping to the level of the ball. One of the defensive fundamentals deflected that ball out of bounds.
He looks good. I mean, just his body language. He's pointing to people, telling people where to go, and was kind of, you know, honestly in a little bit of a fog the last couple of times we've seen him. He looks like a different player tonight.
Oh, trouble getting it in, and that's going to be a 5-second count. Almost was a travel along the baseline.
Well, and it's Kendall Yancey again down there. Scott Cross, the head coach for UT Arlington Mavericks in his 8th season.
19-14 last year, took UT Arlington to the NCAAs in 2008, played at UT Arlington from 95 to 98. Isaiah Taylor, wearing #1 in white, has been a freshman point guard who's played hot and cold, but he's had some bad spurts, but then he's come back and had some really good spurts. DeMarcus Holland looking at a three-pointer. That is not his game, and he misses that off the front of the iron. And Brandon Edwards, right now 35 in blue, is getting every rebound. Little touch foul by Taylor. He picks up his first.
If I'm Rick Barnes, I'm communicating to DeMarcus Hollins. It's not a lack of confidence in you. It's just recognizing your strengths. And Rick does not want. DeMarcus Hollins 1 for 9 behind the three-point line. And you take that shot only when the shot clock's down under 5.
He's open from outside the arc for a reason.
Yeah, that's right.
He's not a good three-point shooter. So when you catch the ball there, move the ball.
But, Coach, every time I catch it out here, I'm open.
No kidding. I was open a lot, too. Holland at the other end takes the bump, and that's more of his game. Attacking the rim, finding seams.
But he's
he will
been
shoot
so
a couple
solid.
free throws.
I mean, he's averaging 10 points and 5 rebounds, and he is an elite-level defender. Those are good, solid numbers from your defensive specialist.
Well, but he's got to embrace that part of his game because that's who he is, and take that on as his personality, come out every night, and he should want to guard Reger Dowell, who's averaging 25 a game, and went for 20 against Kentucky, and say, wait a minute, I'm going to hold this young man down, because Dowell already shown you he's got a nice stroke.
Well, he is so important to this basketball team and this success. DeMarcus Holland averaging 33 minutes per game. His assist to turnover ratio is not great. He's just at 1-to-1, and for somebody who's a non-shooter from the perimeter, you'd like that to be closer to 2-to-1. But well, he is just such an outstanding defender and good leadership so far for this young basketball team.
Prince Ebay deflecting that ball out of bounds as he just came on the floor now, replacing Ridley. Ridley perfect on his 1 field goal attempt as he completed a 3-point play, but the trend continues. Reed 4 of 5 from the free throw line for Ridley as he goes to the bench for the first time. Just underway, UT Arlington leading the Longhorns 8-7, and Javon Felix. And that running out of real estate, the court not quite wide enough that time for #3, Jamel Outler, averaging 10 points per game, a transfer from Texas Tech. See that an awful lot in the NBA because the three-point line is wider and there's very, very little court, but don't see it so much down in the corner at the collegiate level.
Well, the other thing you see in the NBA is that technique on the on-the-ball screen is called blue, where you push down away from the screen. We'll take a look at it when we get a second, but Javon Felix getting up on the high side of that screen and pushing the ball down.
Ebay had a very good game against BYU, very active on the offensive boards, which is a real theme now for Texas.
Here's that possession right here. Now look at him up on the high side of the screen. He gets up high and pushes the ball down to the baseline. See him up on the high side? And instead of letting the ball come up over the top of the on-the-ball screen, he pushes it down to the baseline, and then the point you make, then you recover down on the baseline for the pass to the guys floating to the corner. That's very good execution. And part of the changes of the perimeter defensive rules this year, where you can't contact, you just push the guy away from the screen.
And for a team that likes to run a lot of ball screens, you can take their side ball screen completely out of their offense.
And then you're dictating where the ball goes and how you rotate on the backside.
Stuart Lagerson, 7-foot, 220-pound redshirt junior, on for the first time. And Texas started showing some zone. Deep shot out of the corner, no, and Lammert taking the rebound. Here's Felix. Keep an eye on Felix.
Good pass ahead.
Only played 13 minutes against DePaul. Nice ball fake. Lammert looking to pass first. That was a nice adjustment. That was a difficult shot.
did not go up intending to shoot that ball. He went up thinking he was going to pass it.
We'll step aside. Good game so far, and as we expected, pretty high-scoring affair. Texas and UT Arlington.
Texas men's basketball on Longhorn Network is brought to you by the Callaway House Austin, the premier off-campus freshman residence, now leasing for fall 2014.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the much-anticipated matchup between the Eagles and the Bulldogs. Hold on. I'm not quite sure what we're seeing right now, but cows are parachuting onto the field. I cannot believe what I'm watching. 2 cows landing on the field. There's a third headed into the stands. It's actually headed right towards a burger. Look out! Oh, my. That's going on the highlight reel.
The fraud prevention department really went to bat for me. So I had some checks stolen last year and noticed it. I had a teller call me up and say, there's some suspicious activity on your account. It was a phenomenal amount of effort and work on their parts to track this guy down. It was things like that that really kept me as a loyal customer.
UFCU, mobile banking 24/7.
UFCU went above and beyond to protect my money.
Indulge in the luxuries of London. Stay on par in Paris. Feel the rejuvenation of Rome while tasting cuisine from here to Cairo. It's the magic of Madrid, the bustle of Beijing, the vibrancy of Vienna, and more energy than New York, all in one place. It's a world apart, but not a world away. Windstar World Resorts.
Texas sports live on Longhorn Network. Hook 'em.
Well, the Longhorns were away, or their results at the CBE Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City. But look at this line, exactly the theme we were talking about. BYU wins that game by 4, 10 of 12 from the three-point line. And then Texas absolutely mauled DePaul on the offensive boards and in the glass.
And Cameron Ridley was dominant in both of these basketball games. He was a presence. He was physical. He was dominant inside blocking shots. He attacked the rim. He didn't settle for jump shots. He went and got missed shots, but everything's going towards the rim. Had 31 points in 2 games and shot free throws extremely well. And you made the point. You started with a rhetorical question. Did we see a coming out of Cameron Ridley in New York?
Remains to be seen. Consistency is the hallmark of an outstanding player.
Well, and consistency and being on the floor, something you and I have talked about so much with the young man. Hey, he played 30 minutes in that DePaul game.
Texas going to the 2-3 zone. They've been doing this so far throughout the course of the preseason. Inside of 10 now to shoot. That ball right up over the top and nicely made. Talented young player, Brandon Edwards, 6'6", 220 pounds, out of Fort Worth.
5 double-doubles this year. In the last 4 games, consecutive double-doubles for Edwards.
eBay off the no call, goes and gets his own rebound and throws it back in. Boy, it's contagious down inside. And attacking the basket, and that's going to be a foul called against Texas, and going to the line to shoot 2 will be Lonnie McClanahan, 6'1" junior out of Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Prince eBay being very aggressive and really just getting that ball up on the rim almost so he can go get it again. Stuck with it, and a good strong finish.
DeMarcus Croker picked up his first personal foul. Coming on for the first time, Jorge Bilbao, 6'8", 190-pound freshman. And we double-checked. It's not a misprint. He is from Bilbao, Spain. I tried to ask him before the game if his family founded the city, owns the city. But,
I wanted my own city. I wanted to be from Geddes, Texas.
And they haven't done that for you yet?
No, it surprised me.
There's a city named after my family in northern England.
Well, there you go.
And we have a team in the Premiership that's terrible, but that's a whole other story. Yancey on the floor now with Croker. Felix, eBay high, the high screen, kick into the corner to Croker, and buries a three-pointer. And you were a great shooter, and we noticed right away you really liked his stroke.
Beautiful, beautiful stroke. A nice high release and just effortless. It almost doesn't matter what the distance is. He has the same release.
Brandon Williams answering at the other end. A different variety of shot, wrestling down inside. Easy play to call. eBay posting up hard, and the foul will be on Williams.
Look, I keep saying the same thing. I cannot be more impressed with the way Kendall Yancey has started this game. He comes over the top of the screen. UTA over adjusts. Instead of forcing it, he comes back, crosses back over, finds Croker in the corner, and then Edwards threw a double team with a tough left-handed jump hook.
eBay can't get that to fall. Good rebound down inside, and a near mugging by Bilbao. And going back to the line will be Texas, and another foul, another team foul against UT Arlington, already their 7th. And we've only played 6 minutes and nearly 7 minutes.
Little surprised that's not a flagrant two.
It was close.
He wrapped his arms around his shoulders, around his neck, and pulled him down to the ground. And I kept expecting John Higgins or somebody to want to go over to the monitor and review that, but whoa, with the new emphasis on player safety, that's one that kind of surprises me.
It did. When I saw it the first time, I thought that was going to be a flagrant one, but then I saw the officials going nowhere near the scorer's table. So 13:57 remaining. Texas leading 15-14. UT Arlington on the season 2-5. Texas at 5-1. And big guys making free throws, but now Kendall Yancey comes up dry. And some half-court pressure applied by Texas. Felix at the point with some help by number 0 Yancey.
2-3 zone. You've got to know where Dowell is over here on the wing.
Reger Dowell hit his first shot of the game. Looked comfortable, looked confident. Hadn't had a look since until right now, right on cue, off the side of the iron. Ball deflected by eBay and thrown onto the floor. And now we've got Ridley and eBay on the floor together.
Boy, Kendall Yancey looks good. He is just so confident. He's comfortable. He's relying on instincts. And he has had a big impact. They have not scored in this game. He has had a big impact.
Croker, nice ball fake. Yancey dribbling baseline. Pull up in traffic and knocks it in. He's making very, very good decisions.
Yes, he is.
Good basketball decisions. Half-court trap once again. Reger Dowell, some people who were fans of Oklahoma State might remember him. Boy, what an outstanding basketball team they have. He transferred out, knocking it down from long range. Jamel Outler, who averages 10 points per game. And Croker coming quickly at the other end, off the back of the iron. Is that shot too quick?
I don't know. I looked over the coaching staff to see if anybody had that same reaction, and nobody spoke. So I guess they're okay with that shot. They are not going to be okay with that play, however.
Not at all. The three-pointer and the foul that time on Kendall Yancey. And we've seen Texas do this a bit. Foul a number of shooters from outside the arc, and you don't want to foul a jump shooter no matter where they are on the floor.
Well, look at the space he has. I mean, you've got a three-point shooter that shoots as well as Outler does, and you're recovering from the block all the way out to the perimeter. And so when you've got that much space to recover, you lose your balance. You're in scramble panic mode to contest to make him hit the shot over your hand, and inevitably you're going to foul him and end up sitting over there on the bench. You've just got to stay home on guys. When you have guys that can shoot the three the way UT Arlington does, make somebody beat you in the mid-range, but don't let them play to their strength.
Yancey shaking his head. That we've been applauding his decision-making. That was a poor decision, and you saw the look on the young man's face. He knows it. 4-point play completed, and now just like that, UT Arlington up 21-17. Now a little token pressure on the part of the Mavericks. Taylor, who got off to a little bit of a rocky start. A couple of errant passes, some poor decisions, and now UT Arlington playing some 1-2-2 zone. Right into the middle of it. It's nice having somebody 6'10" in the middle of your zone that's got a nice mid-range game.
You know, I felt like Connor was trying to pass that ball too. I think he turned around thinking he was going to drop that, do a little shoot pass down to Cameron Ridley.
I think he's too unselfish.
I agree with that.
He's a good three-point shooter.
I really agree with that, as a matter of fact.
He's a very versatile offensive weapon. There's Bilbao attacking the basket, up and in. Boy, UT Arlington looks very good so far, particularly at the offensive end of the floor, leading once again by 4, 11:40 remaining.
Well, this is a basketball team that's in the top 12 in scoring nationally, averaging 84 points per game.
Runner along the baseline finds the bottom. Maybe that'll loosen up Isaiah Taylor. 6'1", 170-pound freshman, originally from Northern California, and then finished his high school career in Houston, Texas. Off to a very nice start. He started every game so far of his young career. Dowell all the way to the basket. Boy, UT Arlington's getting everything they want right now offensively. They're making threes, they're getting to the rim, and they're converting in traffic.
Well, Texas got out of that zone last 2 times and not much better luck in their man-to-man. UTA now in a 2-3.
Arlington shooting 60% from the floor right now. Battle for the rebound, taken in traffic by the Spaniard, Bilbao. Oh, nice crossover dribble. He was gone. Instead, Taylor. And they're going to call a blocking foul on number 45 in blue. That's his second personal. And it'll also be 1-1 when we come back.
Reger Dowell keeping the Mavericks at a hand. A nice crossover and the finish over 6'10" Cameron Ridley.
Gather round. The Angus Beef Roundup at Schlotzsky's is back, featuring Schlotzsky's own bacon, beefy, smoked cheesy, our famous French dipski, loaded with Angus roast beef, and the Chipotle Guaca Beefski, featuring guacamole and jack cheese. All 3 are 100% Angus beef, and all around, lots better at Schlotzsky's. Still hungry? Join us for dinner. We have gourmet pizzas, fresh tossed salads, and the best pick 2 in town. Dinner's here at Schlotzsky's.
A woman and her truck. A woman, her truck, and a 1,200-pound passenger. And 2 bodies with 1 mind. And a ribbon that goes on her wall, not in her hair. The all-new Chevy Silverado, with the best available towing in its class. Strong for all the roads ahead.
You can obviously tell already from the beginning of this game that University of Texas Arlington likes to get up and down. They're averaging 80 points per game, one of 10 teams, but they're giving up a few. But they have played some tough teams. They started the season a high-scoring affair at Boise State. You don't know Boise State? They're a good basketball team this year, and then at Kentucky. So they've been getting up and down, and they've been knocking down a variety of shots so far in this game.
Now, they are 4 for 8 from behind the three-point line. Reger Dowell knocking one down to start the game, and he is now 1 of 2, and Jamel Outler off the bench, 3 for 3 from behind the line, and boy, they are just shooting that basketball. You know, if you're Scott Frost, you look at that, you know, one of just a handful of teams in the country averaging 80 points. If you're Scott, you just put your hand over the bottom, the second half of the graphic.
Right.
And you go, you know, I'm proud of that. That's the way we want to play.
Well, he can certainly talk to his team. The offensive side of the game so far, they're pretty good. Defensively, obviously, they have a lot of work to do. Free throw off the front of the iron, and the rebound taken by number 3, Outler. UT Arlington 9 of 15 from the floor, 4 of 8, make it 4 of 9 from three-point range. They are not bashful. Here comes Holland all the way into the lane, lays it up high up off the glass. Nice make with the offhand. Got a little moving screen from wide body Cameron Ridley and took advantage of it. What does Texas do to stop or at least slow down this offense right now for Arlington?
Well, that's what they do. You turn shooters into drivers and you funnel them into Cameron Ridley. And so you get out on them. You're not in a position where you're recovering. When they turn and you see no daylight, your reaction is to put that ball on the floor. And as long as Cameron can go up straight, it's a pretty good defensive adjustment.
Ridley had half a dozen block shots in the losing effort to BYU, averaged 4 per game on the 2-game road trip. off the turnover. Don't jump in the air to pass. 3-on-2. Felix spotting up behind the three-point line off the front of the iron. Look at Ridley running the floor, getting his hands on that to keep the ball alive at the back end of the break. Ridley has not touched the ball in the block in a while. Felix driving baseline. Good ball movement, making the extra pass outside to Taylor, looking for his first three-point make on the year. Coach is telling us they're confident in his ability to make the three. He just has to be confident and count the basket and the foul, going coast to coast. Poor transition defense by the Longhorns, and McClanahan went all the way in for the left-handed finish, and we'll get to the free throw line.
There is a difference between getting back and sprinting back, and so you see the Longhorns all just kind of jogging back, and when you play a team that wants to score in transition the way UT Arlington did, you've got to sprint back. You've got to sprint back to the three-point line, turn, find your man, locate, and match up, or else you're going to be running right up your back the entire evening.
McClanahan good on the free throw as he completes the three-point play, and now UT Arlington leading 28-23. The point about Cameron Ridley, 3 quick touches in the first 3 minutes, and then he went to the sideline. Prince Ebay came on. Since then, he has not had a low post touch. And he's making 4 or 5 free throws.
Yeah.
Along the sideline, boy, foul there. Ridley looked like he tried to throw in that errant miss. Ball thrown up wildly that time by Holland.
See, now I want to put that on DeMarcus Holland, because you don't think of the freshman guards realizing it, but you have to have some leadership, and you say, okay, Cameron Ridley has done this early on. Now we've gone 8 possessions and hadn't touched the ball. You know what, big fella? Get down there and work. I'm going to put the ball in your hand. You're going to touch the ball this time down the court.
Demand the ball. Let's bring it to you. Reger down inside. Reger Dowell attacking the basket. Boy,
how good does he look?
UT Arlington looks good. They're making threes. That's their game, but they are finishing at the rim. That ball hard off the back of the iron. Rebound taken by Arlington, and they want to go quickly. Look underneath, a errant pass, and off the turnover, Texas will have the ball, 8:46 remaining.
Well, Reger Dowell, terrific off of the jab step and just slicing and dicing. And, you know, he came into the game, and the scouting report was that he's a better catch and shoot player than he is off the dribble. My goodness. I don't know about that scouting report. He's been really good attacking the rim.
Yeah, off the bounce. He and his teammates have
bobbing
been very,
and weaving
very,
and slicing and turning his shoulders and finishing into contact.
He's shown us a wide repertoire so far. Texas trailing by 7.
Well, that is not where you want Cameron Ridley touching the ball.
Is the zone part of the reason? Lammert out of the middle, right in the sweet spot of the zone, offensive attack, and misses that off the front of the iron. And here comes UT Arlington once again. Texas 8 of 20 from the floor. The Mavericks, the visitors, 11 of 19. Boy, that looked good when it left his hand, but off the side of the iron, offensive rebound, battled for, and Lammert is caught in a little bit of an awkward spot and will be called for the foul. 2 free throws coming. Want to remind you, on Saturday, the #1 ranked women's volleyball team for the University of Texas wraps up the regular season with a matchup against Baylor. Longhorn women's volleyball, Baylor versus Texas, 4 p.m. Central, Saturday on Longhorn Network. Going to be some very, very special moments in that game. Bailey Webster, last year's most outstanding player at the NCAA championships when Texas won the title. It will be her final conference match. Texas is going to be hosting the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament, but a number of other very, very special players. Hannah Allison, the starting setter on that team as well. So something to look forward to tomorrow, 4 p.m. right here on Longhorn Network.
Well, if you have not been to a Texas volleyball game, you are missing out on one of the best atmospheres anywhere in America in any sport.
A lot of people have seen Texas volleyball this year. There's some big sellout crowds. Croker looking at the three-pointer. That rims in and out, and yet another possession where Ridley did not touch the ball in the paint. Quickly in transition, and if Ridley had hung in and held his position, it would have been bang, bang, at least under the new interpretation, charge or block. But he'll pick up the personal
maybe even
foul.
fell down. I mean, he just stood there, and the offensive player bounced off. It's hard to say it was a charge when you don't fall over, big fella.
All eyes are on Texas football, so come along for the ride.
There's all kinds of handshakes. I get in trouble for forgetting half of them with some guys.
It's got to be all in. everybody has to go with nothing on their mind except winning the game.
Deshaun Johnson will take it back for a touchdown.
Just made everything real when I put the hat on. I was just like, we did it.
Texas All Access, Wednesday at 9, only on Longhorn Network.
Ball's written fair. That's going to score a couple of runs.
Match point for Texas. Texas takes the match. Inside Chapman answers Hazel. Right and carry it in.
That ball's out of here with the solo home run to right. Along the ball and a throwdown. Good snap and hold. Tucker's kick is up. Justin's kick is good. It's good.
Mondays after the game, catch Rewind with Mac Brown. Coach breaks down game film.
This is a huge play because not only is it a momentum change, but it gives us 7 points.
And offers exclusive post-game insight.
You got to beat Oklahoma, so it was really important to us.
Touchdown, Texas.
Plus, he'll unlock keys to victory.
There's a big bunch of orange there, and they're screaming and they're pumped up, and I thought it really made a difference.
Rewind with Mac Brown, Monday at 7:30 on Longhorn Network.
Texas Longhorns women's basketball very busy over this holiday season. They beat number 12 Texas A&M 69-58 over in the Bahamas. Check out Texas women's basketball. Look at the schedule. You can look at it online in St. Thomas, excuse me. You can look at that at University of Texas Athletics online. Played the Stanford Cardinal very, very tough last week right here at the Irwin Center. So things very much looking up as far as Texas women's basketball is concerned. Back with Reed Getty's UT Arlington with a 7-point advantage over Texas. Free throw up and good. And speaking of women's basketball, they will be back in action. They've got another home game against Arkansas Little Rock on Wednesday at 7 Central on Longhorn Network. You can also watch live online and now on your mobile phone with Longhorn Network app, available free at the Apple App Store. 7:40 remaining, and it has been all UT Arlington as they continue to extend their lead. They're getting to the free throw line. They're making threes. They're getting into the lane and finishing. And as you pointed out, that we were talking just during the break, Rick Barnes really unhappy with his team and the way they're not getting involved in transition defense.
Well, they're just not hustling back and matching up, and he spent probably 3/4 that last time out really laying into his young men about their lack of commitment on getting back and toughness and matching up, and see if they do a better job coming out of that timeout. Good
Down
pass.
the lane, Martez Walker on the floor for the first time. One of the outstanding group of freshmen who've come on. We've already seen Kendall Yancey, DeMarcus Croker, and now Martez Walker out of Detroit, Michigan.
We're going to talk about Martez Walker at halftime, and that is his skill set. That's the first time we've seen him run that set. They've been running a high-low set where they have a post player at the elbow right there where you see the Big 12 decal and a big man down low. That time they had both big men down low, and when they passed it down to a post man, the opposite wing slashed through the middle, and Martez Walker could be very, very good at that cut.
Ball deflected a couple of times. Speaking of volleyball, playing a little volleyball there, and now Texas will get a fresh shot clock. And other than Cameron Ridley, Texas has been awful from the free throw line. Touch inside to Ridley, splits the defense, lays it up and in, but wipe it off. Ridley will be called for the traveling violation.
That's a bad call. He did not travel. He jump stopped and his feet hit. It was a 2-count pivot, but watch, he doesn't travel. There's the dribble. See, and it's a, no, that's a, oh yeah, maybe he did.
Right, well, we were blocked. In your defense, partner, I didn't see it either. There are a few bodies between us and that last little bunny hop.
Come down and do a 1-count pivot, but then it was the step after that that got him in trouble.
Yeah, it was a good call. Good move, good call, and
but
good
more
aggressive.
He touched the ball.
And good things happen.
Yeah.
Little skip pass. UT Arlington good off the floor and getting a lot of shots wherever they want them. And here comes Holland quickly out of the backcourt and decides to think better of it. Kicks it back out to Taylor, and Texas will get into their half-court set. Inside to eBay, who gets inside but drops the ball out of bounds. What do you think about playing Ridley and eBay together?
Well, you know, I like it, but they're going to be limited. Prince eBay does not need to ever dribble the basketball. He needs to create angles with his feet so that on the catch, he can just turn and attack the basket. But, you know, I like the matchup because they've both been so active and aggressive, not only on the defensive end, but on the offensive glass.
So far, Texas just 6 of 14 from the free throw line, some of those coming in the front end of 1-and-1s. And remember that Cameron Ridley has made 4 out of 5. And Prince eBay's made 1 out of 2.
Who'd have thunk that coming into the game?
Yeah, your shot makers, your good shooters are really letting Texas down at the free throw line right now. Reger Dowell, shot clock inside of 10.
Great matchup right now, DeMarcus Holland and Reger Dowell.
Boy, quick off the floor. Dowell buries another three-pointer. Wow. Look at this, a double-digit lead, 35-23, UT Arlington. And look at the Mavericks bench. They know that they are playing maybe their best half of basketball so far this year. They did hang with Kentucky for a good bit of time. Taylor, nice pass to eBay, and that's exactly what you're talking about.
A dribble penetration set up by Isaiah Taylor. And tell you what, that last three-pointer by Reger Dowell, you could not have defended that any better if you're DeMarcus Holland.
Shot rejected by eBay. Here comes Texas running 3-on-1. Nice little drop pass and a smart foul. Good foul underneath by Shaquille White-Miller, not giving up the layup.
Now, Reger Dowell, look at him hit this shot over the extension of DeMarcus Holland. He's close, he closes out. I mean, that is beautiful. And then a nice dribble penetration by Isaiah Taylor in a jump stop, and good finish by Prince eBay.
That was the first basket for Texas in over 5 minutes. 10th team foul on UT Arlington, so Texas will be in the double bonus the rest of the half.
DeMarcus Holland made a fundamental mistake. He was coming down on defense, and they had a 2-on-1. He slowed down at the point, turned it into a 3-on-1. You should always turn down a 3-on-1. You want to increase the distance the defensive player has to cover. So he should have swung wide and just had 2 lanes, and they would have converted that.
Free throw converted. That's why it gave the opportunity for UT Arlington to step in, commit the foul, because the space they're covering is not as great. That's a really good point, Reed. There's the turnover by the same young man, Shaquille White-Miller, 5'9", 176-pound senior out of Port Arthur, Texas. And we've got a 30-second timeout called by Texas. 5:05 remaining, and University of Texas trailing UT Arlington by 9.
Between you and me, they're strange creatures.
They are.
They don't think like you and I.
You know it.
They ignore us.
Totally.
It's like we're only here to serve them.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
But then they turn around and fill you up with Chevron with tech crime.
I guess we're doing something right.
Yeah, but come on. Humans are weird.
Your car takes care of you. Care for it. Chevron with Techron. Care for your car.
And what's up with the cat?
Got my eye on him.
Certainly one of the interesting aspects to this game was the role of Cameron Ridley after playing so very well in Kansas City. But so far, not enough touches. And also UT Arlington outscoring Texas 14-10 in the paint. That is unheard of, given the nature of these teams and the way they want to play.
DePaul, Texas had a plus 26 points in the paint differential, so that is very surprising.
UT Arlington is really working hard, keeping the ball out of the hands of the post players, fronting down inside.
They're running a box and one. They are trailing Javon Felix man-to-man down that baseline. The other 4 are playing zone.
Holland, a couple of power dribbles, going to his left. Shooters are always more comfortable going to their left and pulling up, and he knocks down a much-needed 15-footer for the Longhorns.
Good defense.
Dowell available in the corner, and DeMarcus Holland taking on that challenge. Look at eBay going up and tipping that ball out of bounds right over the shoulder of Brandon Edwards.
Brandon Edwards did not have a chance to get that shot off. Look how close eBay closes out on him. That's great defense by your big fella.
Still 16 to shoot. UT Arlington got off to a very, very good start, made a number of threes. Reger Dowell made the first shot of the game. That was a three-pointer. And the visitors have led throughout. Inside of 10. High screen all the way to the basket. Prince Ebay comes over from the weak side. Falik stepping behind the three-point line, not there at all. Boy, coming up empty. Texas has had all kinds of opportunities in transition, but not making the most of those after getting a good block at this end by the Prince.
Texas women's basketball tips off on Longhorn Network.
Texas looking like a different team here tonight.
And the second year under Coach Aston looks bright.
The young players on our team have a chance to really make their mark.
3 returning stars with all-American potential.
Oh, my goodness.
Lead a Longhorn squad owning the day.
I cannot wait to see the progression and development here at Texas.
Arkansas Little Rock versus Texas, Wednesday at 7 on Longhorn Network.
Do you want to sit on the dugout? Or dost thou prefer the Shakespeare Festival? I've got it! Reggae Man! Rastafari!
Ticket Oak's giving me ideas for the weekend.
Did you give him some of your latte again?
No.
Oh, my.
I got him his own.
I can't feel my bar!
Not everyone has a Ticket Oak, but everyone can use StubHub. What are you doing this weekend?
It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm gonna miss your smell.
You were my first.
What? I knew it. I knew it.
It's true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg. I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa. Check out this new couch.
Across the world, they are known as daring dreamers, innovators, and game changers. But around campus, they're known as the competition. The University of Texas. What starts here changes the world.
Welcome back, everybody, and once again, all the best holiday wishes. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving and are going to have a wonderful weekend. And so far, it's been a pretty wonderful night for UT Arlington and their leading scorer, Reger Dowell.
Well, he has been terrific. He's gotten them from a lot of different spots on the floor. He has caught and shot. He's hit in transition. But you and I have both been most impressed with him when he does this. He jab sets, turns, and absorbs contact and is still finishing at the rim.
Already in double figures with 10. He averages 25 so far on the year. 3:45 remaining in the opening half. Boy, Texas is really going to have some work to do, not only of the remainder of this half, but also UT Arlington looks very comfortable at the offensive end. Couple of dribbles, step back, maybe an ill-advised shot. Offensive rebound off the front of the iron. Battle for it, and a good rebound taken by Brandon Edwards, who loses his footing, and it'll be a turnover.
Well, an interesting offensive set by UTA. They're out here just running around the perimeter, almost like a Harlem Globetrotter weave, where nobody's even trying to penetrate the free throw line.
You look up, Texas is in the double bonus. Throw the ball inside, particularly the way Ridley is making his free throws now.
He's got about a 50-pound advantage inside with Lagerson guarding him, and he's posted up. He's calling for it, and those guards just kind of glance, but they don't even look. If you don't think you can get it to the big fella, pump fake and see. Give it a pump fake and see what the defense shifts, see where they go and all that. But, man, they're just kind of glancing at him.
Very, very casual at their ability or their effort to get the ball down inside. I mean, change the entry angle. Move down to the baseline. Let the big man use his body.
Absolutely.
Yeah, disappointing for Texas so far, not getting the ball inside to the young man who's really upped his game. And also, just in the overall framework, you look at the foul trouble. Isaiah Taylor does get to the line to shoot, too, and that rattles in and out.
I'm never in favor of dissension. And so when I say this, I'm not talking about bickering and causing problems. If I'm Cameron Ridley, I grab one of those guards going off the court and I grab him as strong as I can, like I'm gonna squeeze the life out of his arm and say, give me the ball, give it to me. Just like that, to where they go, okay.
I'm convinced.
I'm telling you, that's exactly what he should
I couldn't agree more. Give me the ball. Ball deflected, bad pass that time. Lagerson after it, and eBay will come up with the errant pass. Quick shot by Taylor up off the window, and now Texas, trailing by as many as 12, now has cut that down to 4. Good stretch here for University of Texas getting back in this game before halftime. Dowell open for 3 over Felix off the side of the iron. He's cooled a little bit. Good offensive rebound, but the ball deflected away. Texas with some numbers.
It'd be a really good time to go inside against a man-to-man defense to Cameron Ridley. They're in a box and one, still running the baseline. Yep. See the runner down on the baseline chasing Felix?
Ridley was wide open once, if not twice, and they missed him. DeMarcus Holland didn't even look inside. Wild shot up and in by DeMarcus Holland. Boy, talk about a prayer being answered. And just like that, it's a 2-point game as we approach the 1:45 mark of the first half. Arlington now very much in need of a basket. Texas stepping up their man-to-man defense. Arlington on a bit of a drought right now. Brandon Edwards stepping back and making yet another 3, and just like that, the lead is 5 once again. Arlington now 5 of 14 from outside the arc, deflected out of bounds, and it'll be the visitors, the University of Texas Arlington Mavericks, to inbound.
DeMarcus Holland feels the contact, knows the new emphasis on penetrations and fouls, just throws it up there trying to get to the free throw line for 2 free throws, and look what he found.
That's going to be an easy play to call. Easy bump foul on the perimeter by Isaiah Taylor. What do you think about how the officials have been interpreting the new rules so far on the season?
I kept telling you that I was going to defer, and I can't defer any longer because I've seen enough of it, and I'm not pleased with it. I don't think it's an adjustment that was needed, and I think it's resulted in unpredictable calls inconsistently applied. It hasn't had that big impact statistically. Scoring across the country is up 9 points per game. The number of fouls attempted per game have increased to just 3, and free throws made per game are less than 3. So statistically, it has not had that big an impact.
Interesting. I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll have an interview with head coach Rick Barnes. We'll focus on a couple of the freshmen who've come on and obviously getting a big opportunity to play for this Texas basketball team. Second free throw is missed, and Reed and I will have first half highlights as well as analysis. Inside of a minute, UT Arlington leading 39-33. Texas has been very poor from the free throw line and from long distance.
Well, Javon Felix has not looked good in this game.
Boy, good speed that time. Turning on the Jets basket by McClanahan once again. And that's going to be an end line violation called on Cameron Ridley as we look back. Once again, coast to coast, Lonnie McClanahan scoring it for UT Arlington. Boy, as Reed Geddes said, there's a difference between running back and sprinting back and actually being back and ready to play defense. So Texas on a good run, closed the lead down to 4. And now UT Arlington with an opportunity. This a long 2 that rattles in and out. Ridley takes the rebound. Shot clock and game clock separated by about a second. And a timeout called by Texas head coach Rick Barnes. Wants to make sure that they get a good shot in what may be the final possession of the first half.
Yeah, I would hope what they're drawing up over here is a way to get Cameron Ridley the basketball you know, it's funny how the droughts that they go on, and a lot of times we've been critical, or at least we've pointed out when we didn't think Cameron was working hard enough to get the ball. That has not been the case in the first half. It's not a matter of Cameron not putting himself in a position. It's his teammates' lack of recognizing what's going on and getting him the basketball. And you got to think whatever Rick's throwing up right now, it's going to be a dribble penetration, something to get the defense to react and then drop the ball off to Cameron.
Reed, I know you're over to the sideline because you're going to be speaking with Coach Barnes in just a moment. I have the benefit of looking at the stat sheet. Officially, Cameron Ridley is 1 for 1 from the floor. Of course, when you get fouled, it doesn't go down as a field goal attempt. So he's gotten the ball a couple of more times, 4 or 5 from the free throw line. But that's amazing. The perimeter players, big guys, are dependent players, and they need the likes of DeMarcus Holland, Isaiah Taylor, Kendall Yancey, etc. to get Cameron Ridley the basketball.
Well, I would throw it to one of these elbows. I would throw it to Prince eBay and dive Cameron on the left side of the lane, dive him down and seal Walgerson right at the rim.
Game clock down to 7 seconds. There's the dive outside to Ridley, 25 feet from the basket on the weave. Kendall Yancey throws that ball up, and the shot clock buzzer went off. There is 0.4 of a second remaining, so University of Texas Arlington will have to inbound. So Texas Arlington going to go to the locker room, shooting 44% from the floor, 6 of 15 from outside the arc. Texas just 12 of 30 and 1 for 10 from long range and 8 for 18 from the free throw line. Looking to see officially if there's any time left. There's the shot clock violation.
Well, and a pretty good adjustment to put Prince eBay down there on the guy throwing the ball in bounds. Prince eBay with his long arms and jumping, that makes a very difficult length of the court pass.
Just 0.4 of a second remaining.
By rule, that's enough time to catch and shoot. Now, it's hard to turn. If you're at 0.3 by rule, you can only tip the ball and not enough time to fake or really turn. But boy, if you catch someone running away from you're running down towards this end of the court, then they can throw a length of the court pass, catch and shoot the ball.
Well, it was not a shot clock violation, so they're looking to check to see. See, the buzzer for the shot clock went off, so they're going to reset, and they're going to leave it at 0.4 after they've looked at that. So that'll do it. It was not a shot clock violation, so a little confusion when that buzzer went off. 0.9, they have adjusted with another 0.5. Oh boy, that ball bounced free.
Oh, that was close.
That was close. That was indeed close, no question about it. So UT Arlington may be coming in at 2-5 and Texas at 5-1. But they were the better basketball team in the first half, and the scoreboard shows it. UT Arlington leading 41-33. Now let's go back over to Reed Geddes.
Yeah, Rick, what were your impressions of the first half?
Well, I'm really disappointed, one, in our effort to come when we first came out to start the game, and I just didn't think our guards did a very good job at all getting back in transition, allowing them just to run the ball right past us. And offensively, we came down, really wanted to establish Cam. We did that. Then we just started settling for jump shots. And then our guards have got to do a better job on the free throw line for us. But rebounding, again, they beat us in all the effort plays, and they outplayed us. That's all it is.
Okay, Rick, thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, the score at halftime. University of Texas Arlington 41. The Texas Longhorns 33. After the break, we'll be back with the LHN halftime report.
It's the greatest honor the band can grant to a non-band member. Among the privileged few have been professional athletes, a United States Senator, even Bob Hope. Fortunately, knowing how to play the sousaphone is not a requirement for dotting the I in Script, Ohio. Fans show their loyalty in all kinds of ways. Ours, just buy another Hyundai. See what loyalty looks like at the Loyalty Report on the postgame.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you the ultimate fan experience with Texas legend Ricky Williams. Register free at datewiththegreat.com for your chance to win. One lucky fan and friends will receive photos, autographs, and more. Date with the Great is exclusively brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.
The Longhorns set their sights on a national championship repeat. Right there is Cat Bell.
Now here's Webster to finish it. It's Esserman.
#1 Texas hosts Baylor Saturday at 4 on LHN.
He grew up on a ranch, dreaming of becoming a real cowboy. His UT degree led to a 40-year career reporting on farming and ranching, where he heard a wealth of stories that he turned into Western novels. He wrote nearly 50 in all and became one of the most treasured Texas writers of our time.
History is important to me, and I like for it to become important to other people, and if I can help spur that interest through my fiction, well, I feel that I've accomplished something.
Elmer Kelton, he's a Longhorn legend.
Before the next big game, dive into the playbook on Game Plan with Mac Brown. Get exclusive access as Coach breaks down the matchup and talks strategy.
You've got to get to the quarterback, force them to throw the ball, and when they do, get some turnovers.
Plus the inside scoop on practice and schemes to get you ready for game day.
We said we're playing to a standard now. If we're going to be the team we want to be at the end, we've got to continue to get better each week.
Game Plan with Mac Brown, Thursday at 7 on Longhorn Network.
And Young raced into the end zone, sealing the national championship win over USC. The end.
Again.
Maybe some other time, sweetie. It's already past your bedtime.
Mac Brown will tell it again.
January 4th, 2006, Pasadena, California. The two top teams meet for the biggest game of them all.
And welcome back to Longhorn Network Halftime Report. And playing basketball for the University of Texas is a lifelong dream for many athletes all around the country. The freshman players each have their own reasons on why they chose to play basketball right here in Austin. And we sat down and talked to freshman guards Martez Walker out of Detroit and DeMarcus Croker out of Orlando, Florida, to find out what made them decide to make Texas their home away from home.
I thought Texas was the right place for me to come play basketball because, I mean, I've realized the history of the program. Coach Barnes, he has a lot of history with this program. And just knowing him as a coach and knowing the players that he's coached over the recent past years and that he put in the NBA. So I think, and also their play style, like the way they get up and down the court and play defense and offense. So I think it's a pretty good program for me. I'm from Florida, so it's real different for me. I mean, I don't really get around in Florida like that, so I don't go out and experience everything, but you know, knowing Austin is one of the biggest places in the U.S. So also the people here, like you meet new people every day. You don't see the same person twice, so it's real different for me. At first, I thought it was going to be kind of difficult leaving home. You know, I've never really left home for this long period of time, except for AAU. I mean, that's just me going out to have fun. But coming here to go to school, it feels more like a business. Like I have to do this. So it's very different. It's kind of difficult also. It's like a family, a very big brotherhood around when I'm with the guys. We all joke around with each other, laugh and play games or whatever. We always in the gym working hard, so it's like a brotherhood. It's just gonna be like a blessing, because I've dreamed about playing college basketball. And now that I'm here, it just makes me want to work even harder.
I came here because they played the same way I played in high school. Fast pace, up and down, transition, like I said. And he just loved people that play defense, and that's one thing I love to do. You know, I came around him. He treated me like I was his son. He played games with me, played with fart toys, just did a lot. Shot the ball, showed me how to shoot free throws, just showed me how to just do everything. And I just really wanted somebody to really do that, because I really didn't have nobody to do that for me in my life. So I just think of him as like my dad or something. Incoming freshmen, I thought they was gonna be all rowdy and stuff, but they cool to hang around, getting to know everybody better, and just treating them like they family, like I'm the family at home. I've never thought I could gain 10 pounds in these couple little weeks, but try to do that. Getting better, that's something he expects out of us. That's what he recruited us for, because he thought we could get better from where we at now. Kevin Durant, that's my favorite player. He the reason I really came here, and because he was so skinny, just like I am now. and I saw his work ethic and how better he got every day. It just made me want to do that, and I wanted to be in the same position he is.
A nice piece. It's always fun to listen to the freshmen, get to know them a little bit. You get to know the coaching staff. You hear what impresses them and what attracts them to the family atmosphere here in Austin, and it's a nice piece. I enjoyed that very much.
It's a big adjustment, and a couple of young men in that recruiting class that are a long way from home, one from Detroit, one from Orlando, Florida. And after the break on the other side, we'll have highlights and stats from the first half as UT Arlington leading Texas by 8.
Are you settling for the same old, same old? Or are you making it the original? At Pizza Hut, we brought you the original pan pizza and our great thin and crispy and hand-tossed, which made us America's #1 choice. And now we're helping you put your spin on it and create your own original with a $10 any pizza deal. Any pizza, any size, any toppings, delivery, dine-in, or carry out. Just ask for or use promo code 10ANY. We all have a choice. Pizza Hut. Make it great.
The fraud prevention department really went to bat for me. So I had some checks stolen last year and noticed it. I had a teller call me up and say there's some suspicious activity on your account. It was a phenomenal amount of effort and work on their part to track this guy down. It was things like that that really kept me as a loyal customer.
UFCU, mobile banking 24/7.
UFCU went above and beyond to protect my money.
Indulge in the luxuries of London. Stay on par in Paris. Feel the rejuvenation of Rome while tasting cuisine from here to Cairo. It's the magic of Madrid, the bustle of Beijing, the vibrancy of Vienna, and more energy than New York, all in one place. It's a world apart, but not a world away. Windstar World Resorts.
The triumphant return of Trans-Siberian Orchestra's The Lost Christmas Eve, presented by Hallmark Channel. Don't miss the encore and final performance of The Lost Christmas Eve in concert. 2 shows, December 26th, Frank Irwin Center. The Power of Rock with the Majesty of Classical. Buy tickets online at texasboxoffice.com. TSO's The Lost Christmas Eve, latest album available at Amazon.com.
Well, some Texas basketball fans may be a little bit stunned. University of Texas off to a very good start, playing well out on the road in Kansas City. But right now, it's University of Texas Arlington. Quite frankly, and agreeing with the words of Rick Barnes, they have been outplayed, outworked, and out-hustled.
In almost every aspect of the game. I mean, UT Arlington's winning the points in the paint we thought unimaginable. They are dominating the boards +10. Offensively, they're getting the ball almost anywhere they want it and getting shots. And when they do miss, they are up +10 in the rebounding differential. They are knocking down threes, and it's not like they played out of their mind. I mean, they only shot 44% from the floor and 40 from the three-point line, which is good and solid, but certainly not shooting lights out.
And this is nothing out of the ordinary for University of Texas Arlington. They're only 2-5, but if you go back and look at their season box score, they're about at their season numbers, so they're just playing the way they want to, but Texas is not playing the way their coach wants them to.
Well, they average 84 points per game. The flip side of that is they're giving up 86, so defensively they're doing a good job, and a lot of it being helped by Texas guards not getting the ball to Cameron Ridley.
Well, and we talked about it. He had such a good series. Excuse me, Reed, but here's a perfect example of inefficiency by the guards.
Well, watch him move and watch him float, and look how open he is in just a lack of getting the ball to him. He just seals right there. You can dribble down. Could have gotten the ball to him there and stopped. He comes across. Now watch him float to the middle, right there. Rim. He's exactly where he's supposed to be. When there's an offside drive, you go to the front of the rim, and they're just simply not getting him the ball. He's been effective. He's terrific. If he's making his free throws, That's the only reason that you don't give him the ball is because you think, oh, he's going to get fouled and he's not going to get there. I tell you what, Rick Barnes, I guarantee you, is ripping his team right now over this very point.
Well, and I can also guarantee that Cameron Ridley will touch the ball at least 4 out of the first 5 possessions. And if not, somebody's going to be sitting back over on the Texas sideline as we look at some of the numbers, the leading scorers. Look at that, 3 players in double figures for UT Arlington. DeMarcus Holland, Cameron Ridley with half a dozen. He got those in the first 4 minutes, and he's 1 for 1 officially from the floor.
1 field goal attempt for Cameron Ridley after coming into the game, scoring 31 points in his last 2 games. That's unforgivable.
He had 19 against a good DePaul team when Texas split their 2 games over in Kansas City. Interesting second half, certainly coming your way on Longhorn Network.
We're here for the guarantee. You pack it, you ship it.
We guarantee it.
Magic castles?
Guaranteed.
Drum machines?
Guaranteed.
Talking robots?
Guaranteed.
Singing ducks?
Pack, ship, guaranteed.
What if something happens?
We'll take care of it.
Professional.
The UPS Store, pack and ship, guaranteed.
We're exhausted. We got 2 more sleighfuls. Huh? Reindeer can be temperamental.
We'll take care of it.
I love logistics.
Getting together with old friends is a great way to stay young. These times remind us what's important in life. So for all you weekend warriors and former high school stars, don't let age get in the way of having fun. Let St. David's Healthcare keep you in the game. With emergency and urgent care clinics, back and spine care, and a heart program that has been ranked #1 in Texas for 6 consecutive years. You and St. David's, in the game together.
All eyes are on Texas football, so come along for the ride.
There's all kinds of handshakes. I get in trouble for forgetting half of them with some guys.
It's got to be all in. Everybody has to go with nothing on their mind except winning the game.
Deshae Johnson will take it back for a touchdown.
Just made everything real when I put the hat on. I was just like, we did it.
Texas All Access, Wednesday at 9, only on Longhorn Network.
Ball's written fair. That's going to score a couple of runs. Match point for Texas. Texas takes the match. Inside Chapman answers Hazel. Right and carry it in. That ball's out of here with this solo home run to right. Along the bar and a throwdown.
Good snap and hold. Tucker's kick is up. Justin's kick is good. It's good.
Texas and UT Arlington back out on the floor here at the Irwin Center. Texas trailing 41-33, and our Reed Geddes had a chance to stop by and chat with the Mavericks head coach Scott Cross.
Scott, your team has been good offensively all year long, averaging in the 80s, but defensively came out with a great game plan. How are you keeping the ball out of Cameron Ridley's hands?
We're just trying to really pack it in. I mean, our Achilles heel has been the defensive end of the floor. All we've done for the past week, we spent about probably 2 hours out of our 2.5 just working on the defensive end of the floor, and the guys are starting to buy in to doing the little things, keeping their hands up and being active on defense, blocking out and rebounding. We just have to do it again in the second half.
Okay, thanks a lot, Scott.
Well, going to be a very, very interesting second 20 minutes. What adjustments does Texas take to continue to try to pound the ball inside against the aforementioned described packed-in defense? And maybe that forces Texas to make some shots from the perimeter, which, speaking of Achilles heels, that has been their problem all season long.
Well, you know, we talked a lot about what Rick Barnes hypothesizing about what he was talking about to his kids back in the locker room. If I'm Scott Cross, I come out in a 2-3 zone, and I tell my kids, if you don't have 1 foot, if there's not burnt orange paint under at least one of your feet, preferably both of them, then you're coming out of the game, because we will pack around. We'll take all of our guys. We will pack around Cameron Ridley, and just one jump shot on the perimeter is not going to do it. You know, the Longhorns were 1 for 10, and Cameron doesn't touch that ball. If I'm UTA, I don't come outside that paint till someone hits 4 or 5 3-pointers.
That's a great point. And Texas Arlington, on the other hand, not a great percentage, 6 of 15 from three-point range. But remember, coming in, Texas was a -20 threes made, and now add to that 5 more in the first half. That's a 15-point deficit you got to make up right there.
I mean, 10%, 1 for 10 from the line. And look at UTA. I mean, they're just circling the three-point line.
Ridley unable to get a hand on that. Connor Lammert, if you're just joining us, once again, Jonathan Holmes lost his grandmother on his mother's side earlier this week. Good deep post up. There's the touch and a couple of free throws, and the funeral is tomorrow. So Holmes back with his family in San Antonio, and the entire Texas team will go down to San Antonio tomorrow for the ceremony.
That's a nice deal. I was glad to hear that the whole team's going down for that funeral. That is something that will make an impact on not only Jonathan Holmes, but also the entire family. And, you know, we heard those 4 freshmen, the other 2 freshmen, talking about the family atmosphere. And that is not just talking the talk, but walking it.
Second free throw up and good. So now Ridley 5 of 7 so far on the evening after going 7 of 8 from the free throw line against DePaul. Third personal foul picked up by Anthony Walker. Heavily bandaged left wrist. Missed the first 4 games because of that wrist injury. Wide open three-pointer. Air ball there. Tough ball to rebound sometime. And Yancey comes away with it. Wrestling match down inside. A lot of contact. A lot of contact. But with the new rules, all the more reason to throw the ball down inside. Good controlled play by Yancey once again, who got off to a very good start.
Well, and Cameron's doing a nice job fundamentally. Every time there's a dribble penetration on the offside, he is going right to the front of the rim, which is where he's supposed to be. Interesting defensive assignment. A 2-3 different defensive alignment right now for Texas. Look how spread out it is.
Ball down inside. Jump hook not there. Good challenge by Cameron Ridley, and now Texas with a chance to run. Here comes Holland. Holland all the way on the dribble. Coast to coast. Nobody stopped the ball. Lays it up and in.
Assist Cameron Ridley. He's hustling down that floor. He calls for the ball. He turns and seals. Look at the driving lane created for DeMarcus Holland by Cameron Ridley. Look at the left of your screen. He's calling for the ball, turns, seals it. Boy, you could drive a Mack truck through that lane. Good job, Cameron Ridley.
You're watching the Longhorn Network. Hook 'em horns.
Real fans have plates. Express your team pride at myplates.com.
I'm your lucky team flag. We've gone through 14 seasons together, but in flag years, I'm like 130. Now, I'm just holding on by a thread. If you've got cut rate insurance, you could be dealing with this mess yourself. So get Allstate, where agents keep you protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
A man and his truck, and his son who would rather play computer games than go camping. And a valley, and a river, and the stars, and a new convert. The all-new Chevy Silverado, from one generation to the next, strong for all the roads ahead.
If you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking for ideas, look no further than Floor & Decor. No one has a larger in-stock selection of quality tile, wood, and stone flooring, over 2 million square feet. We buy direct from the source worldwide and pass the savings on to you. In fact, we have the lowest prices every day. Plus, you get free design service 7 days a week. Floor & Decor in Austin at 183 and Breaker.
Quick timeout called by UT Arlington after they led 41-38 start of the half, but Texas able to have their way, getting the ball down inside to Cameron Ridley. And it's going to be UT Arlington basketball, they have led throughout. They got out to a quick start, making a couple of threes, just playing who they are. And now it's a question of Texas to respond.
A three-quarter court trap by Texas. Falling back to a 1-2-2. You have to watch the elbows on both sides and down low in the short corner in a 1-2-2.
And if Texas deploys that defense again, watch for the kick ahead to Reger Dowell, who was all by himself. Lob pass down inside. Wild looking play.
Now, when you run a 1-2-2, it's like a big donut. There's just a big hole right in the middle of the paint, and that was the correct dribble penetration, but you jump stop and you force the guys down on the forwards down on the baseline to come up and attack you.
Good post up. The pass not quite there. It's not good enough to the low side. But Ridley really trying to post up strong inside.
One dribble to the baseline, and that's a dunk. Improve your passing angle. Take one more dribble down there. Get to the baseline. Allow Ridley to seal the man on his backside.
Well, in the highlight we showed from the halftime, Javon Felix couldn't get it in because his entry angle was all wrong. He was way too high up near the free throw line.
Anybody can take away the initial entry pass. You have to post up for the second pass.
Taylor wide open three. That one looked good when it left his hand. Battle on the offensive board. Deflected, thrown onto the floor. And Reger Dowell will have it for the Mavericks. And they've got numbers. Open on the right side, spotting up for three. Good challenge that time by Cameron Ridley, running from the paint all the way out to get a hand up on that three. Up off the bottom of the board, Ridley takes the rebound, gets hammered, and he'll go back to the free throw line to shoot two more.
Oh boy, if he'd have kept that ball up high and just gone right back up, he'd be looking at a three-point play. Watch him grab this ball. Watch how low he brings it down. He grabs the ball, brings it down all the way to his knees. Look how it drops way down, and he dips down, gathering himself. Boy, if he'd have cut that thing and just bounced right back up, he's done good. I'm telling you, I am so impressed. And you talked about that maybe it was a coming out party. This is a different Cameron Ridley than we've seen. His free throw looks so good, but he is so much more aggressive without panicking. He's catching the ball, and he is dictating what he's going to do with the ball.
Everybody talks about motor. It seemed early on throughout his freshman year, and then the first several games as he misses the second free throw of this is sophomore season. His RPMs were running about 2,500. Well, they're up over 5,000 right now on a consistent basis.
With still some gas in the tank.
Absolutely.
Here's that 1-2-2 again.
Dowell driving, kicking. Just underway here, second half. Dowell looking at a straightaway three-pointer, rims in and out, and good strong rebound taken. Ridley once again. Here comes Yancey. He'll take that right to the front of the rim, miss the layup, and the battle for the offensive rebound, and UT Arlington will have it, looking to run once again. Dowell all the way in, spins it up and in. Wow. That was really poor defense on the perimeter by Texas, and it really hung Ridley out to dry against the quicker guard. Spin baseline off the glass, tipped up, not there. Battle for the offensive rebound, and it is going to be Arlington's ball once again.
Well, Reger Dowell with another spectacular dribble penetration and a double pump and spin. But boy, that is beautiful. He has been so good off the dribble drive. My goodness.
Boy, that is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Offensive basketball. Dowell with 10. Outler with Dowell with a dozen, Outler with 10 quickly off the bench, and he's back on the floor as well, wearing number 3 in blue. He was perfect 3 for 3 from outside the arc. One of them turned into a 4-point play. Dowell, nice pass down inside, good ball movement, pull up 18-footer is good. Good offense once again by UT Arlington, and they lead it by half a dozen, 45-39.
Really nice up fake by Outler out there in the corner. Triple team.
To Holland, looking for the three-pointer, and he knocks that one down. DeMarcus Holland was 1 for 9 coming in, and that is a big make for DeMarcus Holland and for Texas. Good unselfish pass out of the double, if not triple team by Ridley.
Maybe quadruple team. Maybe. I mean, the entire zone defense for UTA collapsed on Cameron Ridley.
That was the definition of a brick off the back of the iron by Lagerson. Poor entry pass that time by Holland. Never gave Connor Lammert a chance to set his feet, get ready, and Rick Barnes talking to his young sophomore.
It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm gonna miss your smell.
You were my first.
What? I knew it. I knew
It's
it.
true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg. I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa. Check out this new couch.
Since 1952, Matt's El Rancho has been serving generations of Texans. Matt and Janie Martinez always insisted on using only the freshest ingredients. And after decades of legendary hospitality, we still prepare everything from scratch. Come experience our world-famous chile rellenos, sizzling fajitas, and enchiladas prepared with our fresh homemade tortillas. Or just relax with friends and family on our beautiful patio and enjoy Austin's best fresh squeezed lime margaritas. Come home to Matt's El Rancho, where it's
always good. Do you want to sit on the dugout? Or dost thou prefer the Shakespeare Festival? I've got it! Reggae man! Rastafari!
Ticket Oak's giving me ideas for the weekend.
Did you give him some of your latte again?
No.
Oh my.
I got him his own.
I can't feel my bar!
Not everyone has a Ticket Oak, but everyone can use StubHub. What are you doing this weekend?
Who will you bring with you to the next UT game? Why not take the whole family? Richard Summer, April, Winter, Weekend, Richard #2, the Steve, Winks, and Little Billy. Or how about your nephew's youth team? Marty, Flip, Stretch, Todd O, Smiling Sam, Beans, the Kims, and Coach. And for the game after that, why not your office? Harry, Specs, McManus, B, #1, Bill the Temp.
Actually, it's Bob.
Grumpy, Greg, Pep, and Enzo. Oh, maybe not Enzo, he's not a UT fan.
Just underway, second half, Texas trailing by 3, and good things continue to happen when number 55 touches the ball for Texas.
You're exactly right. A good post-entry. Watch the defense collapse around Cameron Ridley. That's DeMarcus Holland in the corner. Now, freeze it. Look at the attention that he draws. And then DeMarcus Holland does not just stand there, but he relocates. And look how wide open he is as he moves to a different spot on the floor. That is tremendous execution. Look at it from the floor level and just wide open. The reason you relocate is because you're standing in one spot. You throw the ball over the defender's head. He turns and runs in. He turns his back to you. He runs in to double team. And then when he turns around, he has no idea where you are on the floor.
Reger Dowell with it, #1, averaging 25 points per game, had 20 in the Mavericks' loss to Kentucky. Texas playing the 2-3 zone right now. Ridley on the sideline, replaced by number 44 in white, in the center of the paint. Prince Ebed. Shot clock inside of 10. A lot of contact there in the turnover. Lagerson trying to kick out of that and missing the slam dunk, but going to the free throw line. Good explosive play in the paint by Brandon Edwards, and Connor Lammert picks up his 3rd personal foul. Could be a big factor because remember, Jonathan Holmes not available because of a death in his family. Cameron Ridley's coming right back on, and I'm sure that will be for Lammert, and they will miss his mid-range game and his 3-point shooting. And Connor Lammert's going to have to head to the sideline. The 6'9" sophomore out of San Antonio, off to a very good start. 8.7 rebounds, 69% from the floor, 57% from 3-point range. And he hadn't shot enough.
No, he's been solid, and he has had such good hands around the offensive board, up there around the rim, right hand, left hand, tipping balls back in. Connor is off to a very good start to this young basketball season.
DeMarcus Croker wearing #5 in white, on now for Texas. Can add a little shooting prowess to the floor for the Longhorns.
Well, first time we've seen a little three-quarter court 1-2-2 by UT Arlington.
Wide open out of the corner, DeMarcus Holland made his first 3, missed that, and that's going to be an easy play to call. Shaquille White-Miller with the push-off, and he picks up his 3rd personal foul. You know, I like the token pressure sometimes in the NBA when it's a 24-second shot clock. But when the 35-second shot clock, I'm not sure the real reason for it other than to give Texas another look.
You take 9 seconds off the shot clock, and so what?
Exactly. Yeah. That's one of the rule changes I wish they had made. I wish they'd taken the shot clock to 30. Maryland. Lagerson blocks that shot from the weak side, and here comes Outler on the break. Step through, lays it up and in. And UT Arlington now leading it by 7 once again, just inside of 14 minutes to play. 1-2-2 zone. This is where you miss Lammert.
Well, Connor, Cameron Ridley is not a threat up there at the free throw line, and neither is Prince Ebay. And so you'll see that back line for UT Arlington just flatten out if the ball ever enters up there.
Good high screen, and Crooker knocks down the 18-footer. Stop the baseline, counts if it goes. Acrobatic shot. And Prince Ebay, the foul along the baseline, and what a make by Lonnie McClanahan.
How many of these baskets have we seen from UT Arlington? This has got to be the third or fourth circus spectacular shot over an outstretched arm. Look how high he got that ball. Wow. Up at the top of the corner of the backboard. Man.
Just like the beginning of this basketball game, a very nice-looking start for the visitors. Coming on for the first time in the second half, 6'8" freshman out of Bilbao, Spain, Jorge Bilbao. Still trying to figure out if his family is the namesake for that city.
Seems like his first name should be Prince.
Maybe it truly is.
That's right.
1-2-2 zone once again for the Mavericks of UT Arlington, and that's going to be a foul down inside called against the aforementioned Bilbao. Wrestling with Prince Ebay as he quickly picks up his third.
When you're going against a 1-2-2, when you reverse the ball, the offside post for a diagonal pass is wide open. Cameron Ridley sealed someone on his back. So watch when the ball's up here, the bottom left of your screen. Watch up at the top right, and look how open diagonal passes are.
You know, in Ebay, not nearly the threat in the low post that Cameron Ridley is. You almost want them to throw the ball into the low post.
Absolutely.
He's not going anywhere. Different story with Ridley. Step back jumper, not there. Battle for the rebound, taken by the 6'1" McClanahan. Outler, a long three-pointer, that off the side of the iron, and long rebound out to Taylor. Pretty quick pace here over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Taylor slicing, knocked to the floor, and he'll shoot a couple of free throws.
Coming into this game, Isaiah Taylor had 49 free throw attempts. Cameron Ridley was next on the team with 34, and nobody else more than 17 free throw attempts in 6 games.
And this young man needs to shoot free throws much better.
He does. He is 1 for 4 in this game, and he needs to be shooting he needs to flirt with 90%.
You've got your big man making free throws at a very respectable clip over the last 2+ games. Now your point guard, who has the ball in his hands in every crucial situation, particularly tight conference games, you got to step up with confidence and knock that shot down. Especially with the way the rules are now being interpreted this year.
And let me tell you something, Isaiah Taylor is a difficult kid to keep in front of you. If you're trying to defend him, he is so good with his left hand and his right, not only dribbling, but finishing at the rim.
Look at that, 11 of 25 from the free throw line. That is dreadful. Texas Arlington, more of a jump shooting team, so maybe not going to get to the line quite as often. The numbers show exactly that. Texas in the 2-3 zone. Kroger, Taylor, Ridley, Ebay, and Yancey as well. Shot rejected once and slammed home. But did he use, you know what, interesting, technical foul is called here. I want to see how they sort this out.
I think this is going to be on UTA after the dunk. I don't think it was on the hanging on the rim. I think it was excessive celebration and unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll see again. He hung on the rim, and I'm not sure they would call that because, look, there's contact, and so it's a good block. He goes up. You know what? I don't know that that ball was going in if the rim hadn't been pulled down. That rim had been dislodged from its lock position. Watch, before it goes in, the rim is broken loose. Oh, I don't know.
See, that was one of the calls.
Yeah,
you can call offensive or defensive basket interference by pulling on the net. Right. Simply pulling on the net or on the rim.
If a defensive player had grabbed the rim while the ball's on it, that would have been defensive goaltending. So it should be the same for the offense. I don't know. It was in the cylinder.
It was indeed in the cylinder.
Yeah,
that would have been a very, very tough call. So they gave the basket to Brandon Edwards, staying with it after the shot was blocked. He was fouled on the putback, and then he was doing some trash talking, so was hit with a technical foul. So now Javon Felix to the free throw line.
Well, and gave Rick Barnes a chance to get Javon Felix into the game so that Isaiah Taylor's not shooting the technical fouls, but Javon Felix is shooting them.
And he makes them both very calmly, and 82% on the year coming in. He's now 16 of 19 from the free throw line. And now at the other end, Brandon Edwards will shoot to complete the three-point play. 12:19 remaining. UT Arlington has led throughout. Their current lead 54-47. They led at 41-38 at the half. They led by as many as 12 in the first half. With Reed Geddes, I'm Paul Sunderland. Once again, hope all of you had a wonderful holiday yesterday watching college basketball on Longhorn Network and completing the three-point play. That technical foul, if you don't remember, technical fouls in college are also personal fouls, so that was the third personal foul on Brandon Edwards.
Interesting. When we get a break, I'm going to ask one of the officials what happens if that ball's leaning on the rim when he pulls it down.
A good decision here by Reger Dowell, averaging 25 a game, but showing some real restraint there, pulling the ball back out for UT Arlington. Down the lane, jumping in the air, and it finds a teammate, number 12, White Miller, bringing the ball back out. Shot clock at 12. Step through the lane, rejected by Ridley. Shot clock at 5. White Miller kicking it outside. This ball's got to go up. Shot clock winding down. Long three-pointer on the way off the back of the iron. And Cameron Ridley blocking shots and rebounding. Step through, Yancey giving it up to eBay, slam dunk. That's Prince eBay's game at the offensive end. Good look and finish by Yancey. You look up and it's still a 6-point lead for UT Arlington.
You'll never see a 2-3 zone this spread out. Look how spread out Texas is on the perimeter players. And they are really spread out. Look down there on the baseline. It leaves a lot of passing angles.
This zone is spread out, no question. Getting right into the teeth of it this time once again. Shaquille, White Miller, and some subs coming on, and we've got a timeout here on the floor.
Cameron Ridley, you made the observation that he is just being a dominant force down the defensive end. Here he swats a shot and keeps the ball in play with his left hand, and then running the floor hard on the other end. Prince eBay, after a beautiful pass from Kendall Yancey, finishing strong. Let me tell you something about this 2-3 zone. If you're Rick Barnes, you've got to convince kids. A lot of times you play man-to-man with zone principles. You play a soft man-to-man. When you play zone, you still have man-to-man principles. If the ball's in front of you and it's in your zone, you can't just turn your shoulders. You can't take up fakes. You have to defend him. He's your responsibility. And right now the perimeter players are not doing a good job in the zone defense of keeping the ball in front of them.
That is an absolutely great point. You're guarding a zone of the floor, but the man in your zone, you got to stop him from making dribble penetration.
That's exactly right.
Felix now running the point. DeMarcus Holland on the right side. Out there with Kendall Yancey, who had that nice assist. eBay down inside, and that's going to be another foul called. UT Arlington was in early foul trouble throughout the first half, and they've already hit 17 fouls here. Back to the Irwin Center right after this.
Mondays after the game, catch Rewind with Mac Brown. Coach breaks down game film.
This is a huge play because not only is it a momentum change, but it gives us 7 points.
And offers exclusive post-game insight.
You got to beat Oklahoma, so it was really important to us. Touchdown, Texas!
Plus, he'll unlock keys to victory.
There's a big bunch of orange there, and they're screaming, and they're pumped up, and I thought it really made a difference.
Rewind with Mac Brown, Monday at 7:30 on Longhorn Network.
Texas women's basketball tips off on Longhorn Network.
Texas looking like a different team here tonight.
And the second year under Coach Aston looks bright.
The young players on our team have a chance to really make their mark.
3 returning stars with All-American potential.
To sell! Oh, my goodness!
lead a Longhorn squad owning the day.
I cannot wait to see the progression and development here at Texas.
Arkansas Little Rock versus Texas, Wednesday at 7 on Longhorn Network.
The Longhorns are in it to win it.
It's a hit for the Horns and the 2012 National Championship.
Cat Bell.
And right there is Cat Bell.
Bailey Webster.
Now here's Webster to finish it.
And Haley Eckerman. Set their sights on a national championship repeat. #1 Texas hosts Baylor. Saturday at 4, only on LHN.
Armed with a UT journalism degree, he returned to Mexico to join his family's newspaper. He exposed voting fraud, ending the ruling party's 70-year grip on the presidency. Now he leads Latin America's largest print media company, demanding government transparency, reporting on organized crime in the face of violence, and trusting the truth ultimately reveals a better future. Alejandro Junco. He's a Longhorn legend.
Now the Mavericks of UT Arlington up by 8. Here's that zone defense, and look how spread out it is. There are tons of gaps, and when you have a gap, you still have to play defense. Watch DeMarcus Croker just turn his shoulders and allow a dribble penetration, and that isolates Cameron Ridley. Up at the top of your screen, look how isolated he is. He has a decision to make right there. Do I come up and attack, or do I stay back? And that is just poor defense. You put him where he's in a no-win situation. And part of that is because you've got to extend that zone on these three-point shooters, but that just puts more of an emphasis. When the guy's in front of you with the ball, you can't just turn your shoulders and let him run unimpeded straight down the lane.
Matador defense. Ole. Prince eBay missing that free throw attempt wide left, so Texas Arlington will inbound, and even with the 3 personal fouls, Connor Lammert is pressed back into action. They need his offense, defense, and the ability to attack the middle of UT Arlington's zone. Right along the baseline, little 7-footer. That's a difficult mid-range shot. And here comes Isaiah Taylor. Felix running right side. DeMarcus Holland thought better of it. UT Arlington, a good job in transition defense.
Well, UT Arlington's got to come out when Connor Lammert has that ball up at the top of the key and inside, maybe the key inside the three-point line. You've got to come out and respect that shot.
There's Lammert making himself available. Looking down inside, he dumps. He was open from 15 feet, but looking inside to Ridley, and the ball is turned over. And here comes Texas Arlington. Oh, what a steal, and Isaiah Taylor is going to have the gimme at the other end. A nice little bit of thievery. That's a big basket. That might be a quick 4-point switch, because Texas Arlington had numbers going the other way. They continue to lead by half a dozen. Dowell again, exactly what you were talking about, Reed. Reger Dowell went right around the defender down in the corner of the zone. I think it was Connor Lammert, and immediately exposed and broke down Texas's defense.
At some point, you got to get out of the zone if you can't keep them in front of him. And Rick's got to be really frustrated. I mean, you could not have an easier dribble drive from the baseline wing all the way straight to the heart of the defense. It just puts too much pressure on the back end of that 2-3 zone.
Foul was called before the shot attempt by UT Arlington. Do you expect Texas to get into the zone pretty quickly, or will they'll go a couple more minutes in this zone defense? Ridley's not in foul trouble at all, as we were talking about. And Prince eBay back on, and he changed that shot dramatically. Here's Taylor. He loves to go left. Felix spin move, finds himself open from 15 feet. That shot was challenged really well by Anthony Walker, number 44 in blue. Reger Dowell off the corner again and buries that. That is a big shot. And now a 9-point advantage once again for UT Arlington.
Well, that was good transition defense by Shaquille White. Miller down there stopping Isaiah Taylor.
Tough entry angle, and immediately Ridley surrounded. Good slash to the basket. count the basket. Could have been potentially a three-point play. No call there. And it is 60-53 inside of 8:15 to play.
Well, I like that set where they put the two big guys down on the baseline, throw the ball, and then dive from the opposite wing.
Reger Dowell again feeling it. That rims in and out. Long offensive rebound. Grabbed by Edwards, and he throws it away. Here comes Taylor. Splits the defense. Oh,
beautiful.
Is he so good with his left hand?
Man, he might be better with his left hand in transition than he is with his right.
Crowd getting into it here at the Irwin Center. Texas at 5-1, coming off a good weekend away from Texas. Lost narrowly to BYU and then beat a good DePaul team in the back half of that classic. A little trip there. That ball attack of the rim, and do they give the foul to Ridley or to eBay? We'll sort that out.
Now, Reger Dowell continuing to bury daggers in transition, knocking down a shot. And then coming back down, Isaiah Taylor. What's a beautiful Euro step, finishes with the left hand.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you the ultimate fan experience with Texas legend Ricky Williams. Register free at datewiththegreat.com for your chance to win. One lucky fan and friends will receive photos, autographs, and more. Date with the Great is exclusively brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.
Game on! It's the biggest shopping days of the year, and Star's got the biggest savings of them all. Huge holiday savings. Then take an extra 15% off already reduced prices or get 5 years interest-free financing. It's the time to shop for the styles and quality that set Star apart. Why? Because on top of holiday prices, take an extra 15% off or 5 years interest-free financing. Star's after Thanksgiving sale. Star Furniture, different by design.
Are you settling for the same old, same old? Or are you making it the original? At Pizza Hut, we brought you the original pan pizza and our great thin and crispy and hand-tossed, which made us America's #1 choice. And now we're helping you put your spin on it and create your own original with a $10 any pizza deal. Any pizza, any size, any toppings, delivery, dine-in, or carry out. Just ask for or use promo code 10any. We all have a choice. Pizza Hut. Make it great.
Before the next big game, dive into the playbook on Game Plan with Mac Brown. Get the inside information on practice and the X's and O's to get you ready for game day. Game Plan with Mac Brown. Thursday at 7 on Longhorn Network.
Talking an awful lot about Reger Dowell. Here is his file, if you will. A 2012 transfer from Oklahoma State. Played some as a freshman there, and then a kid named Smart came along and figured he better look for some greener pastures. And this season, he has certainly found them, averaging just under 25 points per game and showing you a lot of his game in this one so far.
And his green pasture came with a green light along with it, because he is shooting that basketball. He has scored over 20 points in every game this year, including at 35 points against Howard Payne earlier this year. And you know, he is putting the ball up, has 75 three-point field goal attempts coming into the game.
And he's added 10 to that total.
Holy cow, 85. That's more than the entire starting lineup, and you could add the next two rotational players for the Longhorns combined.
On the season. Yeah, absolutely right. 7:33 remaining in this one, and Texas still trailing by 5 and staying how much longer in the zone defense.
You know, so many kids transfer thinking the greener pastures are out there, and it doesn't work out. And this is one of the few instances that was probably a win-win for everybody. Travis Ford was probably glad to have that young man's scholarship because he wasn't going to get much playing time, and he's gone somewhere where he's the focus, and here we are talking about him against a Big 12 team.
And speaking of Big 12, Oklahoma State very good. Everybody knows about Kansas. Iowa State, I know you like them. Baylor is very good. But after that, wide open, if you will, for Texas to move up the ranks. Isaiah Taylor, nice pass to eBay. And that's going to be finished very strongly at the rim by Ridley. Now, what defense is Texas in? Well, they're in no defense right now. They are really out of sync. Good ball movement, wide open out of the corner. That shot is missed. Ball comes loose. It's still loose, and the big hands of Cameron Ridley have controlled it.
Well, UT Arlington going to a man-to-man this time down.
Well, that should mean Ridley should touch the basketball.
especially with Lagerson on him down here. He gives up about 60 pounds.
Leaks down inside, misses that, put back up and in by a hard-working eBay.
Well, how good do eBay and Ridley look on the floor together to attacking the offensive glass? Now Texas out of their zone going man-to-man. Reger Dowell not on the floor. You've got to think if you're Scott Cross, you're going to get him back in the game immediately.
Oh, a foul off the perimeter. That's going to be just the 16th foul against Texas is DeMarcus. 16th foul. That personal on DeMarcus Holland. Look at the finish.
Prince eBay quick off of his feet in the play before that. Ridley following it up almost the exact same play.
So no free throws coming as yet to Texas Arlington. And as you mentioned, who's back in the game? Reger Dowell in immediately, 6:20 remaining. Texas Arlington out of fouls. Dowell looking at a long three-pointer. Boy, that one rattled just in and out. Look good from here. Texas with numbers. Here comes Holland. Oh, that's goaltending. No question about that.
It should have been a three-point play because it was a bump before the goaltend, and the crowd to their feet appreciating the comeback by the Longhorns.
Well, to your point earlier about the new rules interpretations, there's contact there in the open floor.
Really been inconsistent. It just has. And these officials have a hard job. It's not their fault. They're trying to implement something that's been in the rule book and now trying to emphasize it.
Blocked by eBay coming off the weak side. And look at this, Texas with a chance to take the lead. DeMarcus Holland, and that's going to be a blocking foul on the pass off. And that's going to be 1-1.
You have to be in a legal guarded position before the start of the upward motion, and that's really dictated by the plant foot. So DeMarcus Holland, he started an upward motion, and even though he wasn't shooting, he was bringing his hands up to pass. And you think about a kid as athletic as DeMarcus Holland, he could plant his foot right here and still get to the rim. And so you've got to be in legal guarding position about 15 minutes before he crosses half court if you're going to draw a charge.
I was going to say, as athletic as these kids are today, you better be down there planted and ready to take a hit when someone's inside the three-point line.
That's exactly right. Well, I talked to John Higgins, our lead official, and he was talking about that very thing. He said, do you know how much ground these kids cover, how much they cover in the air? I mean, you've got to be set on an airborne player before he crosses the free throw line.
And a rarity on the night so far this evening, other than Cameron Ridley, one of the guards for Texas making a couple of free throws, and DeMarcus Holland giving Texas the lead 63-61 with 5:47 to play. A quick timeout is called, and want to remind you the Longhorns host the Texas State Bobcats next Saturday right here on LHN. Men's college basketball. Texas State versus Texas Saturday, December 14th at 7 right here on Longhorn Network. Yeah, Texas has been down early. You look at some of their results. Remember against Mercer, a very, very good team, and a couple of the other opponents, Texas had to come down from, I think it was 9 points down against Mercer. It might have been as many as 16. And so doing a good job making some adjustments in the second half and staying with it.
Well, kind of a good news, bad news situation.
It is.
You know, it's bad news that you're down double digits against teams that you should be favored to win, but good news that your young team has shown some resiliency and the ability to come back.
It's been a struggle from the free throw line all evening long. Texas just 15 of 29. And from outside the arc as well. This is not a good three-point shooting team. Make no mistake about that. That's a big reason for part of the deficit, if you will, in terms of three-point makes. Not only against UT Arlington tonight, but against what will be all opponents all season long.
And you see Isaiah Taylor, and you just got a good look at DeMarcus Holland. And you and I discussed in the first half, that deficit's not going to be made up by a sudden hot shooting behind the three-point line. That deficit's going to be made up by these young men playing better perimeter defense and taking away the three-point line from opponents.
Texas on a 12-1 run. They have not led since the very, very early going.
A great matchup down here on the bottom left or bottom right corner right now. DeMarcus Holland on Reger Dowell.
Ridley helping. Did he get a piece of it? He certainly changed it. And eBay, who's played solid minutes with the foul trouble to Connor Lammert, grabs the rebound. But Cameron Ridley moved his feet exceptionally well.
Well, Boy, Rick not happy with the offensive set. I think Prince Ebay's a little lost. That was supposed to be a flare screen and rescreen for Javon Felix, and Prince Ebay was not on either one of them.
Both teams playing man-to-man. Ridley rolling down in the lane, inside a 10 to shoot. Missed him there, missed Ridley there, and the tough post up down inside. We'll see who they give the holding foul to. That's going to be on Brandon Edwards, number 35 in blue, and it's going to be 1-1 for Prince Ebay.
When Cameron Ridley gets tired, he straightens up, and he straightens up. It doesn't matter how heavy you are, you can get leverage and dislodge him. Now, you're not supposed to do that this year on post players, but if he'll stay down low and put that sizable derriere right in the middle of Lagerson, he can back him up to any spot on the floor. And boy, Prince Ebay knocking down free throws.
A huge free throw make, the front end of a 1-and-1.
He's got a nice release. Sometimes his release arm drops down in front of his forehead, kind of like a horn instead of straight up. And when he releases it straight up, it looks pretty good.
You like the results. Texas leading it now 65-61, 4:50 remaining. And the tenor of this game changed when Texas got out of their zone defense. Attack of the basket, wild pass into the corner. Edwards looking at a three-pointer and a good answer. And a quick timeout taken by UT Arlington. Texas still leading at 65-64.
Well, a beautiful pass fake by Brandon Edwards, now 15 points. But watch the pass fake, and he looks with his eyes, too. He not only pumps the ball, he turns and he looks his head. And, boy, did you see the defense rotate over? That's good fundamental basketball by Brandon Edwards.
Out of Fort Worth, Texas, averaging 19 points, 11 rebounds, had 24 in the Mavericks' loss at Kentucky.
Well, has already had 5 double-doubles this year in the last 4 consecutive games. And I'm telling you, Paul, there won't be 5 young men in the country this year averaging a double-double like Brandon Edwards is.
Another big afternoon over at Gregory Gym. The women's volleyball team wraps up the regular season with a matchup against Baylor. The #1 ranked team in the nation with a win. They will finish off the Big 12 championship undefeated, win their third. They've already won their 3rd title in a row. That's Longhorns women's volleyball. Baylor versus Texas, 4 o'clock tomorrow, right here on Longhorn Network. Foul situation. Texas was 16 fouls, so they got 1 foul to give, and 1 more foul, and Texas will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. 4.5 minutes to play. Texas trailed at the half, 41-38. They trailed by as many as 12 in the first 20 minutes.
UT Arlington in a 1-2-2. You can isolate your post players down on the block.
Outside, Holland. Oh, he buries another 3. 1 for 9 coming in, and he's made a couple of big ones. You look at the UT Arlington coaching staff, and they were glad that he took that shot.
You look down there, and you just put your palms up, and you say, that's the shot we want to give him. Big shot by DeMarcus Holland. Boy, look at DeMarcus Holland face guarding Reger Dowell. Up at the top of your screen, he's not even looking at the ball.
Good work by Ridley once again, sealing off the lane and off the turnover. Javon Felix, and now Isaiah Taylor will have it for Texas.
DeMarcus Holland gets better defensively as the game goes on.
Yes. Drop step, had that shot blocked from the weak side, battle for it, big loose ball situation. Ebay after it and picks up the foul.
That was a terrific power dribble and drop step by Cameron Ridley. Now DeMarcus Holland, only 1 3-point field goal for the season. His 2nd big one here tonight. Horns by 4.
Do you have unexpected bills? Need cash now? Let Title Max turn your car title into cash. With Title Max, get $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even $5,000. Title Max gets you the cash you need when you need it. Your car title is your credit. And Title Max gets you the cash you need in 30 minutes or less. So if you need help paying your bills, bring your car title to Title Max, and you too will say, I got my title back with Title Max.
The stadium is unbelievable. I can't believe I actually got to walk on the Star. It's crazy. You know, you always grow up wanting to be a cowboy, but that's as close as I'll ever be, I guess.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
I was wearing this the first time we kissed.
Oh, I can't believe you remember that.
Of course I remember. That was the game Ricky Williams broke Tony Dorsett's 22-year-old NCAA rushing record with a 50-yard TD in the first. What?
It was 60 yards.
I love you. No? Okay, I'll go change.
Here's tonight's Find New Roads play, powered by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Let's watch Javon Felix dribble, attack down the baseline, and watch the zone's reaction. He catches the ball, and look at the reaction. He catches it, and everybody's got his attention. Everybody's down low, and that leaves DeMarcus Holland out here all by himself. A nice little penetration and pitch, and that's the play you and I have been talking about, that if you just improve angles, if you put pressure and attack gaps like Javon Felix just did, you find DeMarcus Holland standing out there all by himself.
Holland having a big game and making a couple of huge threes in the second half when Texas needed it. 21 points, ties a career high. 9 rebounds, establishes a new career high as Reger Dowell good on the first free throw. Dowell with 15, now make it 16. McClanahan with 13, Outler with 14 leading the way. As far as Texas is concerned, Cameron Ridley with 10. We mentioned the 21 from Holland, Isaiah Taylor with 10. And Prince Ebay with 11 points off the bench and 5 block shots. Cameron Ridley has 6 block shots, so 11 between the two post players for Texas.
Boy, I'd like to see Cameron with that ball right there. Boy, he's sealing him, and that diagonal pass is going to be open if Taylor will pump fake and throw it to him.
I don't know if that was a shot or a pass. I think it was more of a pass, looking for the dunk from Ridley. Ball was loose, a scrum, and now coming out of it is Dowell for UT Arlington on the move. A little bit of a push off there, no call, 2:35 remaining. Texas leading it by 2.
Well, you better have awareness right now for Reger Dowell.
Both teams out of fouls. The next UT Arlington foul, Texas will be in the double bonus. Holland fighting around a couple of screens, 7 to shoot. Both teams have got to know the clock. Step back, high arching three-pointer is buried right at the buzzer. What a shot by Shaquille White-Miller.
That was an absolute prayer. That was terrific defense and a great contesting of that shot by Connor Lambert.
Texas Arlington back on top by 1. This zone has really caused Texas problems. Good look down inside. The ball deflected away, and now it'll be 2 free throws coming.
Well, Shaquille White-Miller gets this ball with 4 on the shot clock. Watch Connor Lambert's hand up and contest this shot. Step back, and he really, I'm not sure he could see the rim. He was just trying to get it over Connor Lambert. That's a big shot by Shaquille.
That's like I said, both teams have got to know the clock. The offense has got to know, but sometimes the defense really has to be aware. You can't bail them out, and also you don't play for the drive as the shot clock is down inside of 2 or 3 seconds. Big free throws here for Ridley, who's been really good at the line, but that off the front of the iron. Not a good free throw shooter overall in his career or on the year, but the last couple of games of late, particularly DePaul and earlier tonight, very good from the line.
He missed that free throw and snapped his head over to Rick, and Rick clapped and said, trust your routine. Do the same routine, same release, and just trust it.
And off the miss, Texas gets the offensive rebound. Huge play late in this basketball game. Not being fundamentally sound if you're Texas Arlington and blocking off on the missed free throw. Timeout called by the Mavericks of UT Arlington.
I believe that was Connor Lambert that poked that ball loose and just got it rolling around to where they could run over and pick it up. Take a look at it again and see if this isn't Lambert over there to the right of your screen that just pokes at it. Yeah, absolutely.
The Lagerson had a hand on it, number 5 in blue. And Lammert has been around the ball. We talked about it an awful lot. He just seems to be there for tip-ins, and little things add up and win basketball games. If you're just joining us, again, Jonathan Holmes not here this evening. Lost his grandmother earlier this week. The funeral will be tomorrow, attended by all the members of the Texas basketball team. So again, our condolences on behalf of Longhorn Network.
I met Jonathan Holmes and his dad when he was being recruited. He was a senior in high school. He's at an AAU event. I was just standing on the sideline, ended up next to Mr. Holmes, and it's not hard to understand why Jonathan's such a fine young man.
Little drop pass to Ridley down inside. Oh, offensive foul.
Yeah, I want to see that again, because the no charge zone down there, those heels were awful close to on that line. Nobody's arguing, but that was a secondary defender. Let's look and see where his feet are coming over there. Shaquille White. Oh no, he stepped out of it. He sure did. Now you can't, his toes were up and he was standing on his toes. Your heels can't be over the line. It's not a matter of standing on the line. You can't be on the line or over the line, but he was clearly outside of that arc.
Huge call in this game, so wipe away the basket. And Texas Arlington continues to lead by 1. Both teams out of fouls. Reger Dowell with it. And Texas Arlington running a lot of clock. Shot clock down to 9. Here comes the high screen. DeMarcus Holland with a steal. Texas with a chance for the lead. What defense by DeMarcus Holland ever since he came to Austin.
I'm telling you, he gets better as the game goes on. He gets stronger and quicker.
Quick pull-up jump shot. Holland with a rebound. Ridley's ahead of the pack. 70-69.
Well, you cannot put that ball in Prince Ebay's hands right now. You call a timeout and get Prince Ebay out and get Connor Lammert in, but it's all set up by DeMarcus Holland. Terrific defense down low, got those hands out in front of him, and a crossover. Look at those hands, and quick hands, and just pokes that ball loose as it comes up. Oh, that was actually off of his leg.
Dribbling error.
I did not see that. That was a dribbling error, and credit to DeMarcus Holland for just having the balance and keeping him in front of him. Well, that was just a turnover.
Had a lot to do with that.
That's right. New career high in points and rebounds for DeMarcus Holland tonight.
23 points, 10 rebounds. Nice double-double.
Yeah, it is.
Number 2, DeMarcus Holland, 6'2" sophomore out of Garland, Texas. Played in all 34 games last year. Made 12 starts. And as the season went along and he was around this coaching staff and this team, they just loved him more and more day by day. 39.3 seconds remaining. 11 rebounds now officially for Holland.
I'm here to tell you, if this young man gets to where he can knock down three-point shots, holy smokes, you want to talk about the complete package.
So Lammert is back on. Got Prince Ebay off the floor. If you're Texas, where do you go with this possession?
You go to Javon Felix. You keep that ball in his hands. He is the best free throw shooter. You don't give it to Cameron Ridley unless you absolutely have to. But, you know, Isaiah Taylor has struggled at the free throw. He played good defense, but, well, I would not allow them a clean look if I was UT Arlington.
Up to Lammert, slicing through the defense. Shot rejected by Lagerson. Here comes UT Arlington looking to break. Dangerous pass. Terrible pass by UT Arlington, and a wonderful effort there by Isaiah Taylor getting back defensively. The foul is immediately committed, and Connor Lammert will go to the free throw line.
Boy, you talk about hustling back inside the ball. Isaiah Taylor showing his speed on the defensive end to gather that bounce pass. I'm telling you, he was blitzing down the middle of the court to get that steal. Look where he is. He's down here. He's way down here on the baseline, and you watch him come down this court and how fast he gets down there. Man, absolutely spectacular effort. Well, Isaiah Taylor, you made the defensive play of this basketball game.
5 steals for Taylor, a new career high very early in his, obviously, his collegiate basketball experience. First of 2 free throws up and good for Lammert. He's a very good free throw shooter. Now 8 of 9 so far on the season.
Defensive substitutions, DeMarcus Croker in for Javon Felix, and then Prince Ebay will come in for Connor Lammert.
It's a 1-possession game, 72-69. You cannot allow a 3 here. And obviously then you think about Reger Dowell, who's already taken 11 three-point attempts on the night.
And he's way down here to the right corner of your screen.
Arlington going for the quick 2 high up off the board, and I'm surprised that they didn't foul Ridley immediately. Valuable seconds going off the clock here.
Well, and still no foul. They can't catch Taylor to fouling.
And that's going to do it. This game is just about over. Good defense at the other end. Texas goes to the man-to-man. eBay challenges the shot. Ridley with the rebound. And then poor recognition by UT Arlington.
Well, you know, the new rules are, it's not new rules, but 2 hands on a player is an automatic foul. They couldn't catch Isaiah Taylor just to put 2 hands on it. He was motoring. That was a great job of moving the basketball and not allowing them to catch you to foul you.
Well, got to make one of these. 2.3 seconds remaining. You do not advance the ball, but off of the make, UT Arlington, or off the make or miss, they're going to...
if you're Texas and you don't make this, you foul.
Of course you foul. 2.3 seconds remaining. Of course, foul to prevent the 3-point shot. Both free throws missed. Timeout taken. 2 seconds remaining.
And he called the timeout right under the basket. The ball should be on the baseline. It does not advance. In the NBA, it would be up here at the 28-foot hash mark on the offensive end. They've got to go the length of the court. So right now, if you're Texas, you're telling your kids, make sure they catch the ball going away from the basket. You don't let them act like a wide receiver. Someone will start at half court. They'll run a little banana cut and will take off flying down the court. Remember at the end of the first half when they had .9, they ran the play. They threw the ball the length of the court to Brandon Edwards, but at the same time they had wings running both lanes down the side. Brandon Edwards may jump up, catch that ball, and fire it right or left. It's the old Valparaiso last-second play.
It's exactly what was coming to my mind.
Well, you got to think that you would take Prince eBay, put him on the ball, let him jump up and down. Remember, it's not a made basket, so the inbounder for UT Arlington cannot run that baseline. He is stationary, so put Prince eBay on him, let him jump up and down and deflect it, and then put Cameron at the top of the key and say, big fella, you're now going to play like you're Des Bryant. You're Calvin Johnson. When that ball goes up, that is your ball, and you go get it.
And even if you foul, what's the problem?
Absolutely.
What's the damage?
Absolutely.
You have a 3-point lead with 2 seconds remaining. 2 free throws aren't going to hurt you.
Well, and 2 seconds is plenty of time for someone to catch the ball and deflect it to a wing to catch and spot up. So I would look down here, Brandon Edwards. Brandon Edwards is all the way down at the other end of the basket, way down here. Watch him flash to the top of the key, and that's where they're going to try to throw the ball.
And make no mistake, as you pointed out, this is a big factor that Lagerson cannot move along the baseline. Going to get a look at it on the way, and that's going to be wide right, and Texas has come back once again. For the 3rd time this year, facing a double-digit deficit, the Texas Longhorns improved to 6-1 so far on the preseason.
It was not a pretty game. Cameron Ridley played a very good basketball game. This was a game that they struggled early on. They set the tempo the first 3 minutes of the game. They went into a little bit of a funk and dug themselves a hole. But DeMarcus Holland with a career night. Isaiah Taylor with maybe 2 of the best defensive players of the game.
Cameron Ridley, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 6 block shots, as you mentioned. DeMarcus Holland, a career-high 23, a career-high 11 rebounds. And once again, Texas comes back to win it 72-69. Boy, that was an entertaining basketball game, and mentioned that Texas was down by a dozen. Their leading scorer, Dowell, had 17. Outler had 14, most of those coming early. Edwards with a nice game had 16. McClanahan with 13. And now for the eyes of Texas.